Are you ready?
Hey, thank you, Mark. Um, this is session 3, I believe. Yes, yeah, session 3. How about that? So before I start, I want to. We've already Mark said hello. We've got Chris
Hello.
and Daniel.
Howdy, folks.
All right. So the last since the beginning, we've been fighting our way through the Colosseum here. Last episode, you fought the Maligant, the Necromancer, and some of his minions, and foiled his plans. No, that's perfect. That's great. You Mark found a cyber horse and immediately bonded, and you found the way out. You were in a tunnel, and you could see the way out, but you could also see the sun was about to set, and you guys decided that discretion was the better part of valor. You locked yourself into one of the locker areas where the juicers had been hanging out. You searched the place, and night set, and we ended there. And so, any questions, anyone, before we get started? Any leftover business? That sounds like a no. And, and all right. So you guys, did you have any order you were going to? Was anybody going to stay up and set a watch, or you guys are? It was a long day. Are you guys just crashing because you've got the door barred, and hopefully that'll be good enough?
I'll keep watch.
Okay. Archer. Well, I mean, you could take turns, or something. Just him. Okay. Great.
He's an NPC. He doesn't matter.
Yeah. NPCs get tired too, guys. It's hilarious. We don't care about him. All right. So Chris and anybody else? Okay. All right. Well,
I actually, in order to cast all my spells, I need 15 hours of sleep, uninterrupted. Yeah.
well, you don't have to sleep to get PP
Oh no,
back.
it says right here. I have to sleep for 15 hours. After 2 hours, I'm back up to full. So.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you were.
And you have to feed the grapes. First one,
And
first
get the
appealed,
palm fan.
first a peeled grape, and then a not peeled grape, and then a peeled grape and not peeled grape.
Wow.
It's all in the ritual.
It is. Yeah.
I have to follow what the book says. It's rules as written. They were written 5 minutes ago, but it's rules as written.
All right. So you set up your watch. You guys set watch. The night goes pretty much with no surprises. There were no real bumps in the night. It did sound like maybe there was some thunder or something far off in the distance, but about midnight, the middle of the night, not midnight, and but otherwise nothing. And so Morning comes, not that you could tell in your locked locker room there. Nothing, hallways empty. Okay. Okay. All right. So you get towards the outside of the Coliseum and look behind me, and this is what you see. You're in a plains area. It is a beautiful summer morning. A couple clouds in the sky.
And
No, I mean there's some dirt trails that kind of lead in different directions, but it does seem like it was built in the middle of nowhere.
Hmm.
Looks like you're on plains with a big blue sky.
um,
That'd be handy.
Can I? I'm gonna close my eyes and sense through the magics to see if there are any ley lines within 10 miles or any rifts within 50.
I have a
Um,
compass, but I don't have a map. So, such good that is.
No to the 50. And 5 miles to the northeast.
Do you have ley lines on your map?
On which map?
I'm at, sorry. Zteach is asking Sveta.
I don't have a map.
Oh, I thought you said you had a map but not a compass.
No, I have a compass, but not a map. If we can retcon this, I can add a map. There you go.
Boy, that'd be nice. Yeah, no, apparently not.
No, he didn't saddle you with one.
He didn't saddle you with one. That's nice.
Nice. Well, I mean, we could head towards the leyland, My Little Pony.
Hey Archer, do you know where we are?
No. My Little Pony. And I'm not
There-
referencing the cartoon. That's just what I call you. Um, no, I am as lost as you are. I have not seen this place before. There is one trail that's kind of heaviest, kind of going northeast.
That sounds like a good path.
Does it?
That's a problem.
You said the ley line was northeast,
Yes.
and that's the direction the road goes.
There's no road. There's a slightly
path.
heavier path that goes that way.
Yep. Then that's the direction we should go.
We're off to see the ley lines.
No, I'm full of pee-pee. But my pee-pee is more powerful there. It's more efficient.
He gets the big PP.
It's more efficient if I use my pee-pee near the ley line. Silly you. She has to listen for that to happen.
All right. All right. So you start heading in that direction, and you guys walk on for an hour. As you continue to walk on, you after an hour, you can kind of see. Excuse me, it's pretty bright out, but it is flat right here. Although you are walking uphill slightly, you can tell. This is you can tell that this is a high plains area. So you've deduced that. And the area you're in right now has does everybody know what scree is?
No.
So scree is it's let's see what the no, it's a mass of small loose stones that form or cover a slope of a mountain. Have you ever seen that? Huh? Yeah. I
The
gotcha.
irony is I actually learned that from Red Dead Redemption.
So it's not very steep here. It's not very deep. But it's just an indication that, hey, we're slowly walking up into what's probably the mountains. So you none of you feel like you're in danger of something bad happening with the you're not about ready to slip down a mountain on some scree, so don't worry. That wasn't anything to worry about. I reckon not. All right, he thanks you and gives you a weird stare. All right, so you continue on. Oh, in the distance, I started to say it's still daylight. I mean, you're probably walking 2 to 3 miles an hour. That's about normal. Mark, I don't know, are you leading the horse? Or are you walking on the horse or riding on the horse? Okay, so most people are going to walk. Of course. It does. Yeah, they fit perfect. Little tie there behind the saddle to make sure they don't slip. Everything's good. So you're about 3 miles an hour. You guys, you can kind of see a glow on the horizon, even though it's daylight. It's kind of maybe that's a ley line. And Zetich, You're 2 miles away from a ley line.
We are about 2 miles out.
So, yes.
What do we plan to do when we get there?
Yes. And the reason is that all of you kind of tend to avoid them. Not that a ley line is dangerous. I mean, the only thing you're really going to feel when you go to a ley line is it's when you go to a ley line, what you're going to sense, it'll be like being in a Tesla coil when you're not grounded. You know, the hair is going to stand up on your arm. You're going to feel a tingle. However, Z-Teach wants to go to the ley line because that does things for him. And there are lots of other things that are attracted to ley lines for very similar reasons. No,
No.
he's just, his jaw hurts.
I'm here. I'm just quiet.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So you go about 40 minutes and you can see this wall of blue reaching up into the sky. You know, it doesn't go into infinity, but it's higher, it's exceptionally tall. I mean, it's surprisingly tall to you guys. And are you just gonna keep walking right up there, or what are we doing?
It's acting kind of wired.
Hmm.
He's kind of okay.
You try. There was an attempt made. No, but I'm able to pull information from it. I can find out where I should go, but I guess the question is, what should we be doing right now? And that question, I'm looking at the two others, but I'm focusing on, oh my goodness, Arthur. He seems like a man with a mission.
I need to return to my camp. I lead some warriors, and we have a sacred mission, and it is my intention to return there as soon as I figure out where there is.
I am looking up the ley line knowledge thing. 1 second. Where are you? This darn book. If I had a hard copy, it'd be so much faster.
By the way, you all see the map of the plains?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. Do you see yourselves on the plane?
No.
Oh, yep. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, it was hidden behind the turn order for
Oh.
me.
Boop, boop, boop,
I
boop.
didn't want to repeat of the fiasco last week where the dealing with the fog of war. So Okay, I started to look for it. I was like, I'll remember that.
Take back that advance.
There we go. Okay.
Which direction does the nexus point flow?
Which direction?
Yes, because they
Which way
flow.
is the
They're like a
next?
river.
Right. So it's where is it flowing towards the next?
Okay, so we traveled northeast to meet the wall.
Yes.
Are we perpendicular to the wall, or are we at an angle to the wall?
Roughly perpendicular. Perpendicular. Yes.
So that means that the wall is going from north to south,
Yes.
and we're coming at northeast.
Yes.
No, that would be an angle. I'm really bad with this. There you go. North or south, yeah.
Southeast.
Okay. And
Hmm.
okay. I am going. How close are we to the ley line?
You're about 20 minutes away.
Okay. You can stay here if you'd like. I know that it's probably starting to be upsetting for you. But I need to check something really fast. And I will start walking towards the ley line.
Okay. The path is getting heavier that way, by the way.
Like harder to traverse?
No, just getting more worn.
Okay. Oh, okay. Should you need us? From here, do I feel that there's any energy being siphoned away from this ley line?
How sensitive to that are you?
So I can sense the ley line within 10 miles and automatically tell how powerful it is, in what direction it flows, where it meets with other ley lines at nexus points, and other aspects that might apply, such as if there's a huge amount of energy being siphoned for other purposes.
No huge amount of energy is currently being siphoned.
Okay. I can also sense any nearby rifts within 10 miles. I was way off. As well as arcane tremors created by the eruptions of new or recurring rifts within 50 miles.
None of that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't believe I'll need you. Made by many dead people.
My kind don't survive by taking random chances, but if you feel like you need help, I'll go.
All of you know that the reason you avoid, one of the reasons you avoid rifts is because things that big, scary things, tend to flock there.
Can I roll for survival to see if I see any monster tracks that are fresh that are heading towards it?
Sure.
Well, that did nothing.
You see a trail. You see grasslands. You see a glowy blue thing in the distance, which is surprisingly difficult to say.
There you go. No, you got a 4. He saw something. Maybe.
Maybe. About 20 feet north of the trail you guys are on. Maybe it kind of looks like the grass is kind of beat down in a line. When did I say that? No. No, I have no idea. What I meant to say is no, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought I heard he said he's fine. All right.
All right. Okay.
You have all
You-
proven yourselves as honorable people. Guess it's worth the risk.
So you guys walk on another 10 minutes. And it's kind of hard to judge how far you are away from a big glowy thing. It's kind of hard to draw a scale, but it looks maybe you're 5 to 10 minutes away. Everybody make a notice roll.
Man, these die are killing me.
All right, Z-Teach. You're used to looking at ley lines. I mean, you see it before anybody else does, and it's certainly no surprise. Is you see maybe? I mean, you're a ways away, but you see a shape, a large shape. It's maybe it's a big rock. It's kind of hard to tell. Plains have been pretty flat, but big rockish, and I would say kind of the size of maybe a rock and roll band tour bus, or a large Greyhound, however you want to put it.
I will hold my hand out, and then I will push the power suit to activate Farsight.
Okay.
So I will spin for that. And that's just I think it's a spellcasting roll, but it's the suit's ability, not my ability.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you have a raise. Yeah, you can see clearly. It looks like this.
Have I heard or seen of that before?
Give me a knowledge roll. Yeah, you've heard of those. That's
It's if I'm correct, when I saw these growing up, they were called fury beetles. They are highly territorial and seem to soak in the magic of the ley line. No, I was just hoping to pull some information from the ley line so we try to figure out where we are. The sad part is, since they stole all of us, from different locations, I'm not entirely sure how to find out where we are. Or does anyone else have any better ideas? Arthur?
For the record, your beaten down grass does kind of seem to point right towards that thing.
Good to know.
So Arthur kind of shrugs. Arthur shrugs and says, the path goes this way. We can get off the path a little bit and just go around it. Something's this way.
Yeah, I vote for trying to go around him as far as we can.
Okay.
I kind of wish I'd taken different spells.
That's the way it always is, though, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you guys make sure you stay at about the same distance, and you're walking through the grass now. The grass comes up, in places it goes from mid shin to some places a little above your knees, and but I know all of you are keeping at least one eye on the beetle, and it stays right where it is. All right, so 2 hours. Well, you get to the ley line 5 minutes later, and of course, you're looking up through a glowy thing. As you're entering the ley line, it's getting very, very difficult to see the beetle, to see that far away. So you kind of just see blue, a shiny blue all around you, and you have goosebumps, and the hair standing up on your head and standing up on your arms, and there's just a tingle, and you just feel really, really uneasy. Except for Zetich, he's feeling pretty good right about now. You can tell that yeah, they'd rather not be here. I mean, it's not like, there's no panic, there's no anything, just like, I'm at that uncle's house and I don't really like him. I wish I could go. Just no,
uncle.
let's,
As it turns out, I have to change out a spell. I was just looking at the spell list for my character, and I don't have that ability.
Okay.
I can heal you. I can't relieve you.
Right. You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I had gotten the skill because why not? But it turns out I can't. So instead, I'm taking boost/lower trait. A different buff.
Okay. Why can't you take it?
It's not on my spell list.
Oh,
So
yeah, that'd be a
the
problem.
leyline walker has a specific spell list. All my other ones are good. It's just that one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So it
Okay.
is not really reacting.
It's not reacting?
That was what you said? The creature?
Well, it's kind of hard to see at this point because you're surrounded by this glowy blue field, and so you're trying to look Um,
Yep.
it's hard to look meters and meters and meters up the glowy trail.
Can we hear anything?
No, you don't.
So Z-Teach will move up to the ley line within like a couple feet. He
Okay, I thought you
will,
were okay.
no, he will,
We'll retcon. Okay, so you move up to it.
oh wait, you thought what?
I thought you guys were already standing in it.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to be
Awesome.
though. I'm sorry. I was
Um,
assuming.
he's gonna lay out, he's gonna roll out like almost like a prayer meditation rug. And
Okay.
he's going to get down on his knees and kind of curl up down before it as if he's like praying to it or meditating. And then he's gonna stand back up after a couple minutes and roll the rug back up and stuff it back in and say, I'll be right back. And then he'll put his hand into the flow and it will suck him up into the flow. When within a ley line he gets fly at twice his speed.
Oh, okay. All right. I was wondering what was going on. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I didn't remember ley lines zipping up into.
So
Okay.
he's
So
he's gonna
boom.
he's gonna
You're
go up 1,000 feet
okay.
and see what he can see using the far sight.
Aha. All right. Make your far sight roll.
Well, I never stopped using far sight.
Fair enough. Okay.
Do you want me to roll notice?
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
I used it and it was like 2 hours of us walking. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. It was 10 minutes ago. Yeah, 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the duration on it?
Like everything is duration 5 rounds, so it's fine. It hadn't
Okay.
occurred to me that it had been a while, and it hadn't occurred to me that it probably wasn't the case, so it's fine. Boop.
Okay. So, okay. The beetle's not moved. You can clearly see that. You're more attuned to ley lines and such. You also
home
notice,
right now.
You also notice to the northeast, you see the path leads maybe to a village or something. It looks like a village and it looks like maybe some smoke, not like the village on fire smoke, like somebody has a chimney smoke.
Like habitated smoke.
Yes.
I
Looks
will
about 5-10 miles away.
I will send a message down the ley line to where my party is standing,
Okay.
and you'll hear my voice kind of half warbled through the mists of the ley line. That tells you there's a village. You said to the northeast.
Northeast.
To the northeast.
Yeah, like
It looks like
7-8 miles.
this path that we were walking on looks like it continues on the other side of the ley line, and about 7 or 8 miles there's a town. I can't hear anything you're saying. It's a one way unless you're a ley line walker. And I say that the beetle looks like it still remains where it was.
So we can hear you, but you can't hear us.
Correct.
Okay.
And then after I'm sure I've gleaned as many details as I can, I will slowly lower myself back down to the ground.
And you guys see him kind of lower, you see him up here kind of from the sky and slowly lower himself and appear on the ground.
Yeah, big
probably.
time. Oh man, yeah. Strong like bull.
Strong like light bulb.
And yeah, so that he'll lower himself back to the ground, and then he'll say, did you hear me?
We did.
I wasn't sure if the message would be sent. The ley lines here are a different color. I never know how they're going to react. I'm sorry for frightening you. He says, looking up at the scary man in full armor on a cybernetic horse. I mean, I'm all good with hanging out here, but I think we should probably move on to that small town. What do you think? Fair. I could only make out very small details of a town and chimney smoke. Out of character, I think it'd be hilarious if John has been telling us this whole game is about the Ukraine and he just moved us to Brazil.
No, that's to the southeast.
We're standing in it right now. This is what happened to the Amazon.
Yeah, on Rift's Earth, it's a plane.
I we just
Yeah, you just
woke
it
up
was
3 hours
morning.
ago.
Yeah, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to walk in on them in the middle of the night.
Besides, the ley line's not where you want to be at night anyway.
Suppose
Arthur,
it's
no?
better than here.
Give me 5 more minutes. And he walks back into the actually he'll walk through the ley line. He'll just kind of hang behind for a couple minutes and then catch up with the group.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys walk along for about an hour, and you can start to in the distance see some like chimney smoke, and about as you're about probably 20 minutes away from the town, the village, you can kind of see that there's a village there, but you're also starting to walk through some cultivated areas. And mostly they're growing wheat.
I was just about to ask. Okay.
And you walk past a small orchard and of various fruits, some apples, and just fruit trees. It's
Right,
a little
but
close.
if this town was in existence prior to the the ley line showing up, the Russians. Okay, would I know that we're Ukraine? The Ukrainians are
When you came
a
from
hardy
Ukraine,
people.
you're
Yeah.
Ukraine. And you do know that you arrived in you arrived in Ukraine
Okay.
before you went to the Colosseum.
So as far as I know, we're still in the Ukraine.
Yes, as far as you know.
Ukrainians are very stubborn but stoic people. We are strong and strong-willed.
Make a notice roll. Zveta.
Sorry, I hit the button.
It's okay.
Reflexes like crazy.
Yeah. I hear roll and I'm like, click, 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 click.
Yeah, you find as you guys go past that orchard area, you find you see a rusty shovel There's a pretty hefty blade on it, but it's rusty, and the wood handle's broken.
All right. I was hoping for a little more than a shovel, but
Yeah, as you go past the orchard. Oh, under a tree. Sure, you can find some. Okay, how many is a handful? 3, 4,
8, 9,
6.
a bushel,
Okay, you can find 6.
7 bushel. Oh, you are looking peckish.
so I'm gonna pick up the shovel and take it with me.
Okay.
It looks like a trowel in your hands.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Good answer.
With a rusty shovel.
Buries us under the apple tree.
Well, all right. So as we keep walking, I'm gonna kind of lag behind the group a little bit, and because I'd rather do this before I get into town. I don't know how this spell would work.
Well, you can't walk along and do what I think you're wanting to do.
Well, then
Are you
I'll
wanting to turn? You wanting to
Yeah.
turn this into a chunk of?
yeah, I'd like to turn this into an ingot of steel.
Okay, yeah, no, you need to be standing still, focused, doing
Alright.
that.
Well,
You
then-
just bend it into a smaller
Yeah,
steel,
just roll it
and
up
then-
into a.
and then break it off its wood and hand the wood to teach.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could really. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that small of a thing, I could just break it off the handle and carry it with me.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I'll just do that. This spell's more for like something like a car.
Yeah.
Might be wasting it a little. Yeah. I mean, it's still an awesome look, but
All right. Well, you guys gonna go ahead towards the village?
yes.
All right.
It's a village.
Well, it takes a village. So the from the orchard on towards the village, you see that the path is widened kind of into a dirt road. And yes. I hope you can see yourselves. Yeah, it's a good sized village. There are people all over the place.
What okay, so you've corrected us twice by saying village. Is this a like people just dropped out of the sky. Poor things. Is this like a traditional like 1900s or 1800s small Russian village with straw type huts and
Thank you for the reminder, Daniel.
We lost your camera, John.
You did?
yeah.
Am I back?
No.
Oh, that's why. Kind of looks
There you
like
go.
that.
Looks shockingly accurate to the picture.
you look at my picture, Daniel?
That's awesome. And that answers my question.
Yep. That's why I said thank you for the reminder. I tried to be very prepared today.
Who's getting pinged?
Okay, you will go ahead. Okay. Whoa, what's going on? All right, just a second. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Just a second. Let me copy one more thing I'm trying to copy.
While that happens, I'm gonna get some more to drink.
There we go. There we go. Huh. Well, that token got kind of squished for some reason. So you see a man and his dog in the field there, even though it looks like a black accordion or something. And the dog's kind of lazily barking at you. And there we go. That's better. I'll use that dog. This looks more like. Yeah. Anyway, so there's a dog. He's kind of lazily, just kind of woof, woof. He's kind of barking, and the man is. He's noticed you, and he's waved. You can tell that they're cautious. And he looks, and he actually looks confused, and he says, "We thought you come tomorrow." Russian. You are lost? This is Nize. And you all can roll a knowledge roll to see if you've heard of that village.
It would
You'd
be
think.
common knowledge, probably.
Common knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you really have some nice shoes. You're certain about that. Sveta, you know that this is indeed a village, and you're pretty sure this is a village near the town of Sumi. which would be in the northeast portion of Ukraine.
All right. I share that information with everyone else. And that works out kind of well lore-wise, seeing how I think my character's been in this area the most of the three of us.
From this area. Yep. And you've all heard of Sumi? And this might help.
That does help.
So the little red mark is kind of, it is the point of the red mark is where Niza is, and the top is slightly obscuring Sumi.
Arthur, where is your encampment?
Yes, I know where I am. My encampment
Okay.
is near here. I really need to go. And now that I know where I am, I would be off unless you feel you need me. A few days. I will be fine. I will be fine. I would I think I would like to meet you again. But when I go to my encampment, I believe I need to go alone. Okay, he grabs your forearm.
How would he call?
We will meet again. I'm certain of it.
Take care of yourself, Arthur. Be good out there. For the best for the Ukraine.
Indeed, I wish I could help you more. You fought well.
He puts his hand on your shoulder, Sveta, nods at you, and grabs Zitich by both shoulders and gives you a strong nod and heads off towards the south. It is fine. It is fine. Yes. Um, yeah. Let me look. Let me look at your dude here.
Yeah, I don't know if that would fall under persuasion or notice.
It might be. It might actually be an attribute check, like a spirit check.
Yeah.
I was reading into the system for Savage Worlds itself, and spirit tends to be a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, go ahead and make a spirit check.
Well, I'm gonna be boned if that's the case. It's one hell of a spirit check.
Okay, so yeah, he's worried about something. He's upset. And but he also, and you've got a number of raises here, and so yeah, it's he's worried, he's upset, but you know what? He's also resigned. You know, like, you know, it's kind of like the dog that gets beat, and he's walking into the house, and he knows when he gets in the house he's going to get beat, but meh, oh well.
Life is life.
The man looks at you and he resignedly shrugs and he says, "This is Orloff's land." And you all know, all of you, there's no rolls, no nothing. Um, you all know who Orloff is. Um, he is one of the warlords. And um, did I? Oh, shame on me. All right. Give me 2 seconds. I forgot to create a map for him. Well, you know, whenever I do the pictures, that's really what they are, is maps.
Your warlord's so fat his belt size is a equator.
There we go. All right. Nope. There we go. There we go. All right, almost done. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Okay. There we go. Bam. So there's Orloff.
Fun.
He is
Very
Orloff.
kind eyes.
Yeah. That's you know, honestly, that's how most people tend to see him. Is so he's Boris Anatoly Orlov, and without a question, he is the cruelest, most sadistic, bloodthirsty of the warlords.
Well,
Most
that was
people,
starting at the top of the list.
most people consider him a lunatic, and his answer to almost every problem is to destroy the cause of the problem. His bloodthirsty and murderous ways have earned him the nickname the Snow Demon, and the fear and animosity of every warlord. He's not liked by anybody else. He's stereotypical, no holds barred, barbarian raider. He has delusions of grandeur, and he actually believes he will eventually conquer all of Russia. And he's young. He's just 30 years old, and his now here's the other side is his victories against Sovietsky demons, monsters, things that go bump in the night is all pretty legendary. So he is a successful warlord, even though he's cruel and sadistic and a lunatic. He is very successful at what he does. Okay. Yeah, so Cossacks are a bunch of tribes, right? And they're Cossacks are united except when they're not, right? You go back to World War II history wise, there were Cossacks fighting for the Nazis and for the Russians. So there are Cossacks that in order to survive have chosen to work for or with the warlords. And there are other Cossacks that have decided, no, we're going to stay apart. Mostly, yes. Your tribes have nothing to do with any warlord. Yeah, you're good guy Cossacks. Um, not on. Here's the ultimate answer. Right now, in this time period, the people with the vast armies of troops and the technology are the warlords.
All right.
For the most part, you have villagers like you are right now, and you have warlords. And so your Cossack tribes are kind of in between, and you're nomadic and you don't settle in a spot, and for the most part, your guys are surviving by just avoiding. Oh, here comes some warlord troops. Let's pick up the tents. Let's go ahead and move. Just stand 3 steps ahead. But direct confrontations, and especially with Orloff's guys right now, most people don't do that. One day. By the way, I want to point out that at least on my screen, the ley line walker has left a rift in his wake. Just saying. those darn ley line walkers. You can see whoop. You can see the earth is shaking. There we go. You can see that people have heard the conversations and have slowly kind of made their way that way.
While we have the farmer here, I'm going to ask him if his town has a forge.
It's a village.
Village.
Yeah, and you would. I'm not being pedantic, but I'm kind of being pedantic. You would realize you would ask him if he has a smithy. There's a big difference between a forge and a smithy, right?
Okay.
A smithy is a hut with an anvil, and a forge is an ordeal.
Okay. Then do you have a smithy?
He says, yes, yes. It's at um, he kind of points off in kind of this direction.
Oh, okay. I actually would have guessed here.
Where?
Here.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
doesn't
okay, we'll call that the smithy.
that
Yeah.
backyard kind of looks like smithy stuff?
Yeah, I'll go with that. Sure. He laughs and shakes his head no. We will take care of you. You can see lots of stables around. Yeah, he actually points over here. He tries to give it back to you. No, no, no. This is. He kind of stares at his hand and back up at you like, okay, okay. And he puts that in a pocket and he kind of holds out his hand like he's gonna take the horse reins, but doesn't take them and has his hand up like he's not saying anything, but he's asking you, is this okay? Okay, so he takes the reins and um, he leads the horse off and he says, food and water. Okay. The dog's kind of looking at you. The dog's not sure about you yet. Um, he says, yeah, I don't know. Master might like you, but I got my doubts. You know, he's giving you that sideways kind of, I don't know. And but he follows his master and the horse, and he takes the horse back to that yard he pointed at, and um, you can see he's taking it to some water.
Indeed. Orloff.
No worries. Sometimes it's good to see something in writing. I'm a visual learner too. Okay.
I'm gonna bend down and pet the dog.
Oh, the dog walked off.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. Okay. Um, Okay. You see, there's 4 people kind of close. There's a few people back by the well. Niza. Yeah, I had to look it up online how you pronounce it. It's Niza.
Huh.
Well, not Niza, it's Nize.
Easy.
Yeah. Close enough.
Yes.
He walked right out of the rift, and there he is.
No.
Yeah, it's back.
That's awesome. Wah, 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 wah.
I love how your leyline walker walked into a rift and back out of the rift.
Sorry, guys, I don't poop on this dimension.
Oh,
That's how you
That-
get. It's good
that-
protection against bears.
That's right. About what? No, probably not. I'm pretty far behind on this season. Oh. No, there's one from a past season. About his toilet? Yeah, no, that's from. Okay. Okay.
that's
You're good.
golden. That's golden.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
There
I
are no
wouldn't think
warlords
so.
where Daniel comes from. Zetich comes from.
Yeah.
Incredibly.
Let me
brutal.
interject there real quick, Mark. Some more knowledge that everybody, well, except for Zetich knows, is it's very common for warlords to send a small band out to collect tithes on occasion. But it's very unlikely that Orloff himself is coming. Okay. Okay. Assuming that he knew something, assuming that he knew that whatever happened to his men happened in this town, I mean, what's the chance they have instantaneous communication? And what's the chance that he would assume that this little piece of crap town could do anything to his men? Okay. Okay. Fair enough. You also, Shinkansen, Sumi is a town, but it's also it's kind of one of Orlov's strongholds. Considering that this is about 28 miles from Sumi, good chance they're coming here. They may or may not be coming straight here. I mean, there's other villages they might have around. They might come here, go straight back to Sumi, or maybe they're going to go visit 5 villages, collect what they collect, and then head back. That is a problem. Yes, there are. You walk up, and eventually there's a gentleman who he kind of walks up towards you, and he's got very short cut brown hair, full head of hair, but he's got it's not a marine haircut. It's a little longer on top, but it is kind of a high and not tight. Brown hair, green eyes, and you can see he's got red skin just because he works out in the sun. Broad shouldered, 6'2", big gentleman, and very strong features. And he walks up and holds out his hand to shake your hand. Okay. Wow. Sorry, let me look it up. I forgot all of a sudden. Yeah, I know. Oris is his name. Oh, yes. Yes.
Good name.
Oris. He laughs.
Orist.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot your name was Orist when I picked that. I'm the town leader. How can we help you? So, did you change any of the markings on your cyber horse? Yes.
Can he do that?
Oh, either I forgot to tell you or you forgot. One or the other. I don't remember which happened, but on the left on the left shoulder there is a on the front left shoulder basically of the horse. There's painted a Ukrainian flag, and on the right there is in the same shape a black and red flag. Yes. That is
I'll give you a wild guess since you said you got here early.
that was formerly. I mean, you don't necessarily know this much, but it does go all the way back to World War II, and it was the Ukrainian insurgent army. They fought against the Russians and the Nazis. They were more afraid of Russians, the commies, than they were the Nazis. They did cooperate. They cooperated because if they didn't, they were going to be killed. It's not Orlov's. Yes. Okay. And it exists in modern Ukraine. It does exist in Rif's Ukraine, and it's become a symbol of national pride for Ukraine, and would probably be disliked by a warlord more so than even the Ukraine flag.
I was gonna wonder if it was taken as a rebellion symbol.
Yes, very much so. So Orist says, I noticed your horse. And he grips tighter on your arms, although I don't know if you can tell through your armor. And he says, what can we do for you? We heard of that. We are. We're ready. We will pay. It's been a long time since any village has fought. They protect us from the monsters, and if we cooperate, they protect us from themselves. It is 20% of everything we produce. You can see just a huge look of surprise on his face when you say free Ukraine. Kind of like a concept that's not even occurred to him.
I have seen it, brother. It is possible, he says with a big smile on his face.
You can see his face gets kind of contemplative and hard. He just barely nods. We will help you. You will be gone before tomorrow? Do you see the center top of the map?
Yes.
I'm doing the red circle thing. He points in that direction, and he says, they will be coming down that road, probably from Sumi. He nods. Just FYI. Oh, sometimes I look at a map and I forget to move the player look at the map thing. Boom. So just some stop. Okay. So last you had heard, Mark, your folks were down here or here, somewhere here-ish. Well, I mean, it depends if you want to go to a warlord stronghold or not. Zetich,
Mm-hmm.
I think you remember, but your castle is down this way.
Yep.
And I don't know that we talked about it, Sveta, but you said you're from somewhere in this area, the Northeast?
I was somewhere around here.
Click again. Oh, okay.
The northwest. I have no need. I have no love for warlords, but that is a battle for another day.
Don't focus so much on where I'm from, but what I'm for. And you said it yourself. I'm for a free Ukraine, and that is possible here. I believe if we were able to start taking on the warlords, it would be the first step to establishing a free Ukraine. I understand your trepidation with taking on this particular one, as he sounds like a handful. But eventually, our paths must cross, and he must die. And Ziti says this with a smile on his face that is not creepy, but it's very matter of fact and very hopeful. So if you feel that going home is a good idea for you to help strengthen your inner core, what makes you you, then I would be happy to meet your family. Same with you, Sveta. Both of you are very interesting people.
I would enjoy that, but I have no family left.
And for simplicity's sake, neither do I. But we are here now, and we must do what we can to help the people. All the people.
All the people.
Yep. ZTH doesn't even think about it.
Us? We don't fight. And you're welcome to who it applies to.
There are many that will have to see the ball rolling in order to help us push it.
Weakest. There are 3 warlords occupying the Ukrainian the former Ukraine.
Do they rule the entire Ukraine?
The 3 of them, yes.
Okay.
So there's Orlov, there's Warlord Romanov, and there's Sokolov. And
Hmm.
so Romanov, Sonia Tatiana Romanov, also known as Sonia the Great. She claims that she's a direct descendant of the historical Romanovs that ruled before communism.
You mean just as in noble, not just as in only, right?
You know, that there's a rumor about Romanov. The rumor is that she was her parents were a priest, a village priest, and a woman in the village. That Romanov had a fever at a young age, nearly died. And it was during this fever that she had her vision, and of a great Russian palace, and the recreation of the Romanov family, and that her ruling in this czarist Romanov dynasty would lift the greater Russia out of the Dark Ages. Um, and it's rumored that she has some kind of strong mental abilities or something. And people know that her mind is very strong. Um, so she is also seen as the most reasonable of the warlords. Her headquarters is Kiev, and that's where she mostly resides, is in Kiev. And none of you have been there, but all of you have heard that it is the most modern city in Ukraine, and maybe with the exception of Moscow, maybe it is the most modern city in Russia. So she's probably the most reasonable. Sokolov is and he is between. He has Romanov has the western portion, Sokolov has the middle, and Orlov has the eastern portion. So it's kind of like 3 vertical stripes through Ukraine. Sokolov is he's been described as a beast at the door. He is he's brutal, he's violent, he's more bestial than Orlov. I mean, Orlov is not nice and Orlov is horrible, but Orlov, if he sees a problem, he destroys a problem. Sokolov is just, you don't want to be near him. He's he can become violent for any kind of reason. And his big thing is fighting, killing. He gets a rush out of that. And yeah.
Backstory
That's
wise, then maybe I should change my place of area to Sokolov's
Well,
district.
oh yeah, because you did point to the Romanov area.
Yeah.
Just move the same distance from the other side of Kiev, and you'll be there.
All right.
Um. Not yet, but give me a moment. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Too many books. Just looking up something here real quick. Well, I hope it's real quick. There we go. Wasn't that here? Huh. I thought. All right, yeah. Oris says to you, he says, will you have dinner? Will you have lunch with me? Okay. So, he brings you to this building. We are looking at the village, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he brings you to this building. It's the one with kind of the blue X on the top. And so he goes in first, and you can see people are still standing around just watching, like, what the heck is going on? And right as you come in the door, there's an area to the right that is sunken about 6 inches, and it's just a big square room that's lowered by about 6 inches, and it's filled with thin mats. And in the middle of the room of these mats, there is an area that's probably 3 feet wide by probably 6 feet long that just has a cloth over it. So the mats are probably 3 or 4 inches thick. So that area is 3 or 4 inches lower than the mats with just a cloth there. And Oris gestures in and says, be comfortable, be comfortable. Yes. Well, shoes, definitely, armor, weapons. Yeah. All of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we all in
Okay.
there with them?
Well, you're in the front door. You can see that room.
But were we all invited, or was it just the?
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah. All invited.
Okay.
He invited you all to lunch.
Okay.
Zitish will walk up to the outside.
Yeah.
And then he'll press the button, and there's a as his armor turtle shell opens up, and then he steps out of the armor, and then it closes back up, and he casts a spell, and it goes beep beep, and then he walks inside and takes his shoes off.
Imagine like a bloop bloop, like a car.
Yeah. Wop, wop.
That's funny.
And I'll take off all my armor and stuff too. Oh,
Okay.
you have power armor too, or whatever. Okay.
Oh, I hadn't pictured it like that.
Yeah, I didn't either. Okay. Yeah.
See, I pictured like your samurai type armor, but with the demon mask that makes it environmental, and then you go,
Hmm.
and then you have like a predator.
So it's kind of like segmented plate mail, kind of. Okay. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Fancy. Yeah, mine is pretty basically like
I like to
Templar
picture.
armor.
Yeah, I like to picture like Sveta starts slowly unbuckling her plates and unfastening all of the ties it's like tied up like a shoe, and so it's like she's got to undo each tie, and Mark Bullet Train and I are like and it just drops us out and we're eating, and she's still
I'm still unbuckling.
unbuckling. The kids are like standing around you offering to help because it's taking so long.
Lunch is done, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'm ready.
Oh. All right. So what? Well, I guess yeah, you would have basically what amounts to a dressing gown under that kind of armor, like a tunic or something.
Who?
You.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
So all right. So yeah, so you guys by about the time Sveta gets out of her armor and comes and sits with you guys, um a woman walks in the room, and she's got a pitcher, and she's got a pitcher in one hand and a small tray with a collection of cups, various cups, and she sets that down in the middle and offers and said, please, please, please. And it's you can see that it's a glass pitcher with a some kind of lid on the top, and inside you see fruit and leaves and other stuff floating in the liquid. So it is. It you can taste mint and you can taste berries. There's you can see there's probably some tea leaves, so it's kind of like a mint fruit tea concoction that's but it's room temperature. It's cooled. It is summer after all.
Sounds good.
Okay, and she smiles and goes back out of the room. Well, no, go ahead. Her name is I don't know why I'm doing this. Every time you ask me a name, I can't remember.
Hector.
It is just a second. You think I could think of some Russian names off the top of my head?
Svetlana.
We already have Oris. Let's pull a Sveta in here too.
Her name is Olya. Her name's Olya.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Orisa says you're honored guest. So she smiles and nods her head. Please, please, please. She points at the drink. Enjoy. And she walks out. A few minutes later, Orist comes in and he's got a tray of sliced fruit. There's apples. There's some cherries. Those aren't sliced. There are some peaches, and there is a small collection of grapes, red grapes. And he sits that down in the middle. And there's also there's a loaf of bread that's already had. It's a like a French loaf, and some of it has already been torn off. And so he offers that to everybody.
This is
Yeah.
very, very generous. Thank you. The Z is going to look at his clothing, and then he'll remove one of the small golden rings, and he will set it on the table and slide it and say, in observance of guest rights, thank you.
It is our pleasure. It is our pleasure. So, where are you from? He points at Shinkansen, and he says, "I know you. You come from the tribes." But he points at Sveta, and he says, "Where are you from?"
From what was the guy's name's district? I need a map to like pick a city that I'm from.
Sokolov.
I come from Sokolov's district.
Just Google Ukraine. Me? I guess so. What did you slide on?
Not claiming guest rights, thanking them for guest rights, because that's what they offered when we came in. And where I'm from, it may mean something different than what it means here. And I also have a hindrance I'm playing too. One of those gold rings that we grabbed that was like worth a whole crap ton of money.
Oris sees the ring and says, and says, "I understand, but no, too much, too much."
You need it. You need it because you are paying your taxes tomorrow. So keep it. Use it well. I believe in you. I believe in all of the peoples here for Ukraine.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
talk to Orist and tell him that I am a smith by trade. Are there any crafts that your town needs to stay well maintained?
He says, "Excuse me." I
Because
he
you
was
didn't hear me?
distracted. He's still distracted by this ring.
Oh,
He's not. He stopped refusing, but he's not picked it up yet. And he,
Well,
excuse me.
also of
He
note,
looks at Sveta.
the only reason that the Zetich knew that the ring was worth that much was because Sveta did a appraisal check on it. So
Right.
Boris may not know how much it's worth either.
That's true.
Mhm.
Although there's probably not a whole lot of gold rings in this village.
Fair point. Fair point. That's a very fair point, John.
Alexa, turn on the office light. Okay. That was weird.
I have my light right here too, and it switches off at random moments.
Yeah, it normally does. That's kind of an unusual thing, but
I
okay.
notice you like mood lighting, Daniel.
I know. Yeah.
Starts playing smooth jazz.
Naomi gets a little frustrated with me because I'll say, "Hey Alexa, can you turn on the light, sweetheart?" And she'll say, "Of course, Daniel." And it's one of the only times she uses my name. It's when I call her sweetheart.
Really?
Yeah. So turn it back on. Kale's messing with me now. Yeah, I tested it with a red alert that played Welcome to the Jungle at max volume. I was setting it up at about 11:30 at night and accidentally activated it. It played on every Alexa device we have, which is in every single one of the bedrooms because we use it as an intercom. So it woke up all three children and my wife at 11:30 and we're playing Welcome to the Jungle at max volume.
Nice.
It worked. It totally worked.
Red alert. Nice. So, he looks at you, Sveta, and says, "I'm sorry, what?"
So I thought the whole gold ring thing was done. So I don't know. I'll wait
go
until
ahead.
that shock is over. But I was gonna say, I'm a smith by trade. Is there anything that your town needs to stay well maintained?
There's always need of smithing and tools dull, tools break. I can introduce you to the smith. I'm sure there is something he could use help with.
I would appreciate that.
Maybe we
General
will have
entertainment.
music later. Or as smiles. So he says, just a minute. And he gestures at the fruit. Please. And he gets up and he walks out the door and he comes back in and there's another gentleman there. And this guy is slender, shorter than Orist, and It's Volkov. And yeah, I remembered to turn to my page where I had it written down. And he says Volkov has horses. He says please sit. And Volkov has a seat, and Nora sits, and he says he tells Volkov, okay. And Volkov says, well, I have two strong horses. Maybe 200 credits per horse. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
They're trying to help the rebellion.
Okay. He says, I'm the last house, and he points in the same direction that Orist had pointed that Orlov's troops were going to come from. I'm the last house.
The north, right?
Yes. Yeah. He points up here.
Mm.
You know, assuming your sense of direction can see through walls. Okay. And he looks at Orist and says, "May I?" And he kind of half points at the fruit place. And Orist says, "Yes." And Volkov smiles and grabs a couple apple slices and takes off. No. The first farmer you met, you don't quite remember, but you don't remember anything being missing. Orist and the woman who came in have all their teeth.
Why do you ask that question? Huh. Interesting.
Hmm.
I wouldn't have thought about that. That's interesting. And
Yeah.
as a GM, I wouldn't have thought about that. I will now. Perhaps. When I play fantasy, which isn't often. That's right.
Orist says, again, he points at Sveta. So where are you from?
A couple hours east of Brovery. That would be in what's his face's territory, wouldn't it? Like near that lake.
Um, couple hours east.
Um,
Near the river?
yeah, that river/lake thing. I was looking at this town at the tip.
Oh, just a second. What town?
I posted it into. I'm not
Chat?
even gonna try to. Yeah,
Oh.
Vronku.
Vronki. Oh, I see. Okay.
And again, I don't know exactly where the boundary lines for.
Yeah, that's going to be a tiny village.
That works.
Yeah.
Because she
So-
is from a tiny village.
Voronki. Voronki. I do not know this village,
It's.
but it is west towards Kiev.
It is.
Okay. Okay. Is that that is Romanov area?
No, it is
Sokolov.
Sokolov.
Okay. And it is a village.
It is a small
Is-
village.
Is that how you learned to be a smith?
I did from my father.
Hmm.
He was the town smith.
Okay. So, unless there's something you want to ask, unless there's something you want to say, you guys talk for 30, 40 minutes, somewhere in there. Pleasant. Where are you from? Conversation. How's the weather there? What's your favorite baseball team? Type conversation. Probably not the baseball part. And as the conversations go on, you start to smell some aromas of some just amazing food. And
Still listening, but I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Olya comes back in, and she has a.
I did.
It was funny too because we saw you like walking into the plains, and then you disappeared.
Yeah, I know these people. So she's got a tray, and on the tray, she has a mound of rice, and it's about basketball sized. Although it's not round; it's mound.
Oh,
Um,
let me help you with that. And ZT will jump up to help her.
Oh, okay. And she lets you have it, but she points where it needs to go, which is, obviously this is a centerpiece kind of thing, and she points towards the center of that area.
Right.
And she thank you, and she gives that to you, and she goes, and she comes back with another tray, and it's got little bowls of there's a bowl of olives, there's a bowl of some kind of pickled onion thing, there is a kind of a larger bowl that has vareniki, which is vareniki is it's a Ukrainian dough with stuff in it. So it's empanadas, it's whatever. Every country has them. Pot stickers, pierogies. That's the word I was looking for. It's like pierogies. It's like So yes, so they're steamed. All of you know what they are. It's Vareniki. And but there's just uh 8 or 9 different variety of things on this, and she kneels down near the rice and sets it around there, and she holds up her finger, kind of like one more thing. She doesn't say anything, but holds up her finger, and she runs out, and she brings plates, and she hands it to each of you, and on the plate is a stack of 2 or 3 flatbreads, and she says, "Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy."
I say, this looks delicious. Thank you. As I dig in.
Said the wheat field. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yes. Oh, she blushes. She blushes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, how much time did you spend on it today? Oh, I'm sorry. I am on. All right.
This is my beloved. I am the luckiest man. Thank you. Thank you. Please, please, please. Wherever you're seated, the rice mound is near you. You're all kind of sitting around it with it between you. Okay. Oris tears off a piece of his flatbread, and he and you guys know this. He takes the flatbread and he uses it to pinch some of the rice out and eats it. And under the rice is a shredded cooked goat.
And do we
No,
do we stay in our own
Oris
separate
grabs some
areas on
rice
the
and
pile?
some
Okay.
same time.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing, Mark. There are some very specific rules in a lot of Middle Eastern specifically. I'm sure that's partly where this is coming from. John spent more time there than I did, and
Yeah.
more ingrained there than I did.
Yeah, I
It was.
actually, to be honest, the truth be told, when I was in Karshi Karnabad, I ate dinner with the town's chief of police, and this is the exact meals that she cooked for us.
That's a weird flex, but okay. I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a big deal. I've eaten with the police chief of this small town in the middle of nowhere across the planet.
I don't know.
No, that's an amazing story. That's awesome. That is awesome.
That's cool.
But yeah, I can see where the questions like that would come from, Mark. And we're trying to play it well. I mean, obviously, John is playing with his knowledge of the Ukraine for this entire story, which is awesome because you have actual experience. It's not like us trying to make stuff up, but this is actually something I'm sure that they serve there. Anyway, yeah, I think we all dig in. Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And because this is the first time we've actually sat down and eaten like this, Zitish is going to be like, when watching how much food Sveta takes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the meal. Nobody. Well, Orest and Olya, again, unless there's something you want to say or something you want to ask, um, they both conduct conversation and try to include everybody, and it's light conversation, and nobody's eating quickly, and it's kind of a relaxing.
It's a social event.
It is, and unless you guys want to do something else, the meal will take an hour and a half to 2 hours.
It's actually one of the things I love about Russia. I wanted to go there for was the food and the customs.
Towards the end, Orist gets up and he brings back another tray. They got a lot of trays. He brings back a tray, and it's a small tray, and there are basically 5 short little shot glasses, and he's got a large clear bottle.
You guys can have the shot glasses. I think I'm gonna need the bottle for my body weight.
And he hands out a shot to everybody, and then starts to fill up, and fills up his, and he says, "Wow, John's knowledge of Ukraine. How the heck do you? I forgot what."
I should know this.
Пити тост.
The person of honor at the table, all the guests must stand up. Fine?
Okay, that's too much. It's
Zdorovia?
No, I don't remember ever saying that.
Well, that's the Russian. I don't know what the Ukrainian would be.
Huh.
Yeah, Nozdrovia is the Russian cheers.
Oh yeah, Nostrovia. Yeah, I don't remember ever saying that. All right, well, it doesn't matter. Is it Budmo? Yeah, Budmo. Budmo. And he says, Budmo. And
All right.
he drinks and so it's Budmo, it's take a drink, talk a little bit, this and that, and they talk about actually his crops have been doing pretty well, and it's been a fairly good season, and let me fill your glass again, and Budmo, and it's been a mild summer so far, and really thankful for that, and hoping to prepare well for the winter, and let me fill your drink again, and Budmo. And so, and again, unless you guys have something to say or something to ask, the bottles eventually empty, and everybody except maybe Sveta is feeling warm, and you probably feel a little warm, Sveta.
Zvitich is underage, so he is done. I'm Zvitich is Dunsky.
So
He started singing strange songs in some form of Ukrainian that's not really recognizable because it's slurred very, very much. Like 2 hours ago.
all right, but Olya's gotten you a pillow and a blanket as you're curled up next to the food there.
He has like a whatever we were calling the pierogies. He has one of those, like a bite taken out of it, just held in front of his mouth.
So
I know, right?
so towards the end, Olya starts to clean up, and eventually she comes back, and she's got pillows and blankets for both of you, and she hands Sveta the blanket, and and she apologizes because it's a little small, and because you're freaking huge, and
So this has been because this was lunch. This has been an all-day affair.
It started as lunch. It took 2 hours to eat. You were drinking for about 2 hours, and
Because I got
Yeah,
some
so-
smithing work to do.
so it's yeah, it's probably 4:30 going on 5 o'clock, and Zetich is already out. Shinkansen, you're maybe not nighttime tired, but you're certainly happy and maybe a little drowsy. Right. Okay. Okay. Make a vigor roll for me.
What he's saying is, Birch, you can try.
So, the horses are important, but a nap would be nice. And Sveta's just laughing. You feel a little jolly, but you're just fine.
Yeah. Good.
So
How is other Oris doing?
Orist, he's his face is red, and he says he points at you and says, "You are sturdy, woman." He says, "I think maybe I take nap." And Olya laughs and kind of helps him away, and says, "Nap, nap, it's okay." Bereniki. So yes. And Olya says, "Do you need me to introduce you to the smith?"
Please.
Okay, I'll be right back. So she leads yeah. So yeah. So she comes back in a moment, and she says, come.
I get up and follow her, I guess. I was going to say get up, put on all my armor, and then follow her, but I guess it's kind of ridiculous at this point.
Although I assume you're going to grab some of your gear.
Yes, yeah, I'll grab my satchel that has my equipment and stuff, and my and my hammer.
And the 3 hammers.
Yeah, that's in the satchel.
Right. Okay, just making sure. All right, she leads you to the location we already identified, and she introduces you to Sergey, and he says, "You're a smith,
I am.
and you want to help?"
I would.
Okay.
What tasks do you have?
You see, he's got some
Give me all the tasks and jobs that you have.
well, he
Believe you
says,
misunderstand me, son. I said all.
Nice Parks and Rec reference. I appreciate it.
I've never watched that show.
Okay. Yeah, he said, I'd like all the bacon and eggs that you have. And the waitress is like, okay. He's like, I think you misunderstood me. And I heard I would like a lot of bacon and eggs. But no, I want all the bacon and eggs that you have.
Alrighty then. So he points. There's a pile of tools there. He says, yeah, and you know, there's some shovels that need to be sharpened. There's some I don't know, various farming equipment that needs
Yeah.
sharpened, straightened, fixed. You know, there is a plow that you can see that's had a really rough time of it, and you know, it's time for something to happen to that.
Okay.
And there's the wad of shovel you have if you want to do something with that. And there is for you, not a normal person, for you, there's 3, 4, maybe 5 hours worth of work here.
And it's 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can probably do that.
You can just tell me. Just yes, no.
Nothing that those rules would apply. I am gonna make what's called a magic hammer, but it's just regular crafting rules apply, and it's like a blacksmithing hammer that never dulls, never breaks. It's not MDC, it's just SDC.
Okay.
But it's
For yourself or
no. It's gonna be part of the thing that Sveta does, that for every smith that she visits, she gives them a hammer that never breaks.
oh wow, okay.
That's awesome. That is really awesome.
So it'll be kind of her story thing. Like, if I don't know, if we ever go back to a village that she's been to before in her lore, like, they'll just be like, "Hey, you're back." Yeah, exactly.
And a hammer is my, well, hammer, actually.
So I don't know, whatever. If it's 4 hours of work, add whatever time it would take to smith a normal hammer, I guess.
All right. Well, 10, 11 o'clock. It's midsummer. It's starting to get dark, 9:30. And let me see. Yeah, it starts getting dark about 9 o'clock. And so you know, most of these type of places ends at dusk, and there's now a lot of villagers that are sitting watching you finish your work, and you can see they're talking amongst themselves. They're like, yeah, you, Mark, you're the first to wake up, and you hear what wakes you up is, and give me another vigor roll, please. You hear, yeah, you hear ting tong, ting tong, this hammers hitting an anvil. And or is that your temples that are getting pounded on?
Or you're gonna hear a lot of it.
Would you like a vigor roll for Zetage?
There we go. No, not yet. You're still
Okay.
sleeping. Oh, you did. I'm sorry. Yes, vigor roll. There we go.
Huh?
Nice.
Yeah, you wake up and yeah, almost a raise there. You wake up and you're like, oh yeah, that you seem well rested and life's good.
Is any of the food left out?
No, it's been cleaned up.
Okay. No, but I would like to get that recipe.
As you start to walk out, Shinkansen, Olya comes up and she has a mug, and you can see a little steam coming out of the mug, and she kind of points at your head and said, "Yes, yes," and hands you the mug. It's got a very strong aroma. It kind of clears your sinuses as you smell it, and it's an unusual strong taste. But you down it, and no effect right away. And she give her the cup back, and she takes the cup. Of course, of course. Take as in put it back on. It's Rift's Earth, and
What time is it?
it is 9:00.
Is this in-game time?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, nearly Pacific Coast time. I will ask her to show me how she made those small, delicious meat pockets.
So she starts to tell you about roasting goat and roasting a goat carcass and cooking rice and mixing different herbs and spices, and
He
she'll tell
legitimately
you
pays super close attention, as if he's taking taking notes mentally, because he is.
occupational. Oh, OCC. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I like
Um,
it. Well done, Chris.
She tells you the whole thing. I mean, just in detail, and you stand there and listen, and so yeah, you feel confident you could make that. The heck? Oh, right there. Ah, there we go.
Were you asking though what my occupation is?
Never mind. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, wait. Things happen before you get there. So, as you get towards the hammering sounds, the tightness in your head starts to loosen some. It's not completely gone, but it's loosened, and you feel a little warmer. And it's like this warmth is coming up, not in a bad way, rising from the drink you drink. And you walk, because they're not crowded. I mean, you're not like pushing anybody out of the way, but you are walking between people, and you can hear them as you're walking up. And you've heard this term. It's a legendary term. You hear them whispering, and they're pointing at Sveta, and they're whispering, they're saying, as if a question, they're saying, Kuznaya? 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 It's a legend. Yeah, Kuznaya are legendary. I don't know that you've ever met one, but they are. People don't know if they're human or not. There's all kinds. The legend goes all over the gamut, depending on who you ask. But they're legendary, mythical creatures that are just the best smiths. And matter of fact, may come from
Like the Spartans.
Like the
kind
what?
of, yes. Um, they're very revered. They're like, it would be like Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp, walking into a mall and how people would react.
Oh wow.
The other Svarog, you can pick your own religion, but some people do worship Svarog, the divine, who one of his areas is smithing. The other thing you notice is that Sveta is hammering with 3 hammers. There's one in each hand, and there's one that seems to be coming out of an invisible hand from the center of her chest.
Oh wow.
Just floating in the air.
Z-Teach is going to lean over the bullet train
And they are small golden hammers, by the way.
and it's going to say,
Not my big ones.
"You."
We can't hear you, Daniel.
Can you hear me now?
I
Yes.
can.
Okay. Z-Teach will lean close to the bullet train and will say, "You see the third hammer too, right?" Z-Teach is going to stare, fascinated, wondering how he can learn this magic.
As you walk up towards the horse gentleman at the other end of the village, the hammering gets lighter. You probably think to yourself, it's a great direction to be walking, and it continues to loosen. You know, it goes from, oh God, I really would, please shoot me, to, wow, okay, you know, quite not so bad. Huh. I've never had that issue.
Again with the weird flags.
You get a.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So you get up there and he comes out and greets you, and he shakes your hand. Orist, good to see you. And he leads you past his house, and through a gate, and you see two horses. So yeah, that's probably either that, riding smarts, or yeah, riding or smarts, whichever you prefer.
Any?
Benny. Oh.
Oof. There you go.
All right. All right. So you actually feel like you see the horses and you can't help yourself. You just smile, and your shoulders you feel your shoulders lean back and relax, and you walk up, and the first one is a dappled mare, and you walk up, and you rub him on the nose, kind of do your introductions, um, and and um, you um, yes, and you know these are not competition um, trophy horses. Um, um, but this first one, this dappled mare, um, is a good horse. And the next one is a piebald horse, and it's got white along the top of his neck and down his back, kind of almost like a saddle, and then the bottom part of his body and his face is all black, and he's got a white mane. And and the dapple, of course, is gray with white dots all over it. And so this piebald, you look at it, and the piebald is a little older, but again, it's a good horse. Not going to win a contest, not going to, but it's a good horse. Yes.
When I appraised them, I just said very expensive, but I don't think John ever assigned a value.
I thought he
what
said
that is.
400.
Yeah, I don't remember saying.
$12,000. Oh.
Me?
12,000.
Couldn't be then. Who?
Yeah, make them worth 500. I do. Yes. For either. But the dapple mare looks like the stronger of the two, but yes, still. You're not sure. You're supposed. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, oh, sturdy horse. You could see he looks disappointed. And he says, well, not me. Vasily.
Vasily, the Clydesdale breeder.
He kind of says, well, $300, $350. $500? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, thank you, thank you. And he puts it in a pocket, and um he starts he grabs the tack, and he asks you, you need now? Okay, okay, in the morning I will have ready. Yes. He points, and that's right here. I am. Center right. Um, you get to the door. Do you knock or okay? He comes, and he's rubbing his eyes, and he's in a kind of like a nightgown. Horse. I have two horses. I saw when you come into town, the large woman. Um, so he takes you to the um his little pinned in area, and he's got two horses back there, large horses. And yeah, go ahead.
That is not low riding.
So huh, interesting. Um yeah, sorry about that. There we go. Um there it is. I was trying to add sounds again.
Mm.
And I did a search for horse, and it came up with nothing. And then I realized maybe I should search for stables. I did. So behind his house there are two horses. They are both chestnut colored with they have black manes, black tails, and they have black hair that hangs down over their hooves. So they're chestnut and black. Um, the you can see that again, not going to win any prizes. You can tell by the wear on the horses. You can see where the tack has been fitting them. That they're used for plowing and stuff like that. You notice that the male is the stronger, beefier, and you can see in a good way, like in a oh, I like that way. Um, he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, kind of like not like he's gonna. Yeah, yeah, kind of that. You want the male? Okay. Um. Oh. I don't have tack for. You want saddle? I don't have a saddle for these. But 500.
1 second before you. I can craft a upgrade to the plow that might be valuable in that trade. You wouldn't know that, but just I don't know. Next time. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Bear. Yes, absolutely. Maybe there's other horses. Any points where you just came from. He may have saddles. Okay. Morning. Okay. Okay.
Or show that's very unintended.
So, I think it's some form of aberrant telekinesis, but I'm not entirely sure. I went up to ask, but she just got frustrated. I don't think she even knew I was there. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. However, you've been gone for half an hour? Look at all the stuff she made. And I'll point to the corner. There's like a bunch of items.
I assume you're saving the hammer for last.
What? Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you have
That's-
left. That's
yeah,
where you are
that's-
right now.
That's what I'm using the shovel that I brought with me for.
Okay.
This-
He's
this
got
extra
some
steel.
stock. Yeah, he's got some stock there too.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, you've got
I like that. You steal one of their probably useful items to.
Well, it was a rusted out piece of crap.
with a broken handle.
Look-
I mean, let's
look-
be fair.
But look at this town, man. It was probably still used.
Probably.
Poor guy goes out. Where's my shovel?
I've had that for 30 years.
Indeed.
I have no doubt. Oh yeah. Although we are gonna need to pick up some very specific pans and stuff. They don't seem to have here, but in order to do them right. And goats. Were you able to find horses for us? Or a cart?
So for the hammer, Can I get a smithing
Yeah.
roll, please?
Yeah. Where did my character sheet go? There it is. That'll do, pig.
Yep. Yeah. There is, when you guys watch, what you notice is one, there's no wasted movement. You know, there's three hammers hammering, and somehow, you know, for a moment, that hammer is set down mid beat, reaches down, gets some more stock, puts it in the furnace, grabs the hammer, hammering, pulls the stock out. I mean, there is no wasted moves. It is fluid. It is a clinic, and there is this intensity. The coals seem to be burning at 9 times the heat than they were before. The anvil is actually slightly glowing, and there's these golden hammers that are moving with this almost musical rhythm, hammering out this beat. Again, this musical beat. It's not some clod, brang brang. There's this um, beautiful rhythmic beat, and and slowly you see this Smith's hammer begin to take shape and form.
Yes.
I don't know if it's telekinesis. Uh, yes,
From what you can see.
it doesn't wind that far back. Or sometimes it's coming up, it's coming from the side, and these,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever's needed at the moment. But it would almost seem like three hammers banging on something, they never get in the way of each other.
Right. And of other note, I guess, even though the center hammer might have reduced movement, it's still hitting with the same power of like a full swing. Yeah. And if Daniel did detect magic, he might see something that might clear it up besides just a floating hammer. But
I'm good with the mystery.
okay.
All right, so bang, 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 beta did a bang, and in a quick movement, you see. Well, you tell me how you finish, Sveta.
Oh God, I
You
don't
got a
know.
hammer. Tell me how you finish. What happens? Is there a flourish of putting the hammers back in the satchel? Is there? What do you do?
So I flourish and put the hammers back into the satchel, but then you see my hands just kind of, go like this around the hammer, and you just see my hands just glow red hot, and you see the hammer get like tempered, into.
And they are. You're starting to hear that a little bit above a whisper.
I'm not entirely sure they're wrong.
And
the ability she has with both these hammers and the large one.
um, what happened?
Sound stopped.
Oh, it was she quit hammering.
Fair enough. Yeah. I am done.
I don't have a fade button, I don't think, do I? Oh, I do have a fade. I'm sorry. I'll do that next time. Learning. Oh, can you still hear us? Nope.
Sounds fine so far.
Yep. Okay. So you're done. You've got a smith's hammer. So what happens?
I'm
You
gonna
have a
hold on to
crowd
it
looking
until.
at you with wide eyes. It catches on. Everybody around is clapping.
And no, I look over and I wave, but you can tell that there's kind of like a sense of disdain on my face, of just like ugh.
All right. The
Like, I
smith
get
is
this
just
everywhere.
has been just standing there, just stunned, watching you work.
So I'll take the hammer and I'll bring it over to the smithy and hand it to him and say, "Thank you for letting me use your facilities."
You are a blessing. You are a blessing. Thank you. Thank you. You're a blessing. I thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate the kindness, and I hope to maybe see you again one day on my travels.
It would be a blessing.
And
I will tonight I will remember I will remember you to Svarog.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go with Svarog.
Some of the people start coming in, and some of them are walking up and touching you.
Mm. Mm. Guess I should, seeing how that's usually her shtick. I will tell the blacksmith that this hammer is for him and his use only.
I understand.
If anyone uses it,
It will
their
be a
armor
blessing.
fall off.
Hey, Zetich and Shinkansen, can you guys make notice rolls? You say that.
What are they noticing?
You took over for me. Well done.
Wow. Man, how did you roll a 14 on a D4? Like, wow.
Oh my God. It exploded 3 times and rolled a 2.
I have a D12 and I got a 4.
Wow.
Well, your D4 has a higher chance of exploding.
Yeah.
Not necessarily 3 freaking times, but good on you. It was that alcohol. Find out what that alcohol was.
So what did they notice, John?
Make it something dumb. That would be hilarious. The one time Mark ever rolls high. He noticed that your leg is your shoe is untied. Z-Teach will look at her brow. I would like you guys to roll a notice roll. The two players.
I'll see your notice roll with another notice roll.
Man.
As it definitely looks like Z-Teach while watching you work or watching Sveta work, and it looks like he's been thinking over things. You guys know he's a pretty smart guy, but it's obvious that he's got some ideas playing out in his head, plans and ideas, and once he sees that, he seems resolved. There's a lot of moving parts right now, but I think I know how to better answer your question you asked earlier. I agree. I think that Sveta is going to be more important than we are. But it's not a, and he'll look around at the happy and awe-inspired villagers, and he'll look to them, and then he'll look to you, Bullet Train, and he'll say, it's a conversation we'll need to have later.
So you've got people all around you. You're probably not even moving, Sveta. You're afraid to step on somebody, and they're touching you. Nobody's taking anything, but they're touching you, and they're saying things like, it's a blessing, and our town is blessed, and we thank you, and but you can tell that people are pushing in to get their chance to touch you.
On that, where are we sleeping? Because I need to start making my way there.
If you say that loud enough, I'm sure you'll have volunteers. Not meaning anything dirty by that.
No,
I mean,
yeah. No,
I'm 100% sure people would absolutely, well, that
it
too.
is true.
Fair point. No judgment there. But I'm saying they would probably be people that would be more than happy to house you as a miracle as well.
Yes. Then, yeah. Then,
so when they hear that, people start trying to pull you. Obviously, they can't, but but they start pulling you and say, to Oris, she needs sleep.
All right.
And the crowd, they probably think they carry you there. All of them pulling on you.
At least that's what the stories will be.
Mm-hmm. We picked her up and carried her to Oris' house.
I guess if you had enough people, you could. She is a hefty girl, though.
Yeah. How many people does it take to pick up a Pinto?
The horse, right?
And so I think it's a chestnut. And so yeah, they take you to Oris, and do you Z-Teach and Oris, do you follow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
By the
now
way,
like 11 o'clock at night, isn't it?
yeah, about 10:30. Yeah, nobody's paying either of you. You two have ceased to exist. Yeah,
Good news.
because
If you guys ever need stealth, I can distract the hell out of people.
just need. Yeah.
All it really takes, the gold hammers are the giveaway for Kuznaya. Like if I just pull one out of my satchel, people will be like, Kuznaya.
Yeah.
So
Well, one, they might start to doubt, but
yeah.
two, they're going to be pretty sure. One starts floating in air.
That's a pretty dead giveaway.
That's a good dead giveaway. Yeah. So, the people take you to Oris and let go and kind of, push you towards the door and say, Orist is our leader and he has blessed us and we are blessed. This night is a holy night. We will have riches in our village.
Retro.
Well, not too many riches. I just made all their blacksmithing stuff that they need.
Yeah. It's I think
They're all-
Sergey's going to have time for vacation or something. I don't know.
Or just severe clientele problem when they're like, why is this taking you so long? I asked for it 2 hours ago.
What's really going to happen is that's when when he's going to lose all his excuses for the honeydew list.
Nice.
when the
All
villagers,
right.
when they come back and they're like, why is this stuff you're making so much worse than the stuff that we got last week?
Well, I do think people understand and appreciate the difference between, village blacksmith, Kuznaya.
Yeah.
So, anything you guys want to do? Is anybody staying awake? All three of you are going to sleep.
I'm going to sleep.
What's the plan? Talk, sleep, backgammon. What's going on?
Do we know when they're supposed to arrive?
Who are you asking?
Everyone. Do we know when his men are supposed
Are
to arrive?
we in Oris' house at this point?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Orist and Olya are there, and so I assume you're asking Orist. Orist says they normally arrive at midday.
Okay. I think we should be out really early.
I agree.
We will make sure you're awake.
Thank you.
Okay. We thank you. So unless there's anything else, all of you wake up with either Orist or Olya gently trying to wake you. And you can see it's dawn. It's lights breaking. And Olya hands each of you a wrapped package. It's something wrapped in a cloth. Okay. And there are when you walk out of Oris' house, there are 3 horses there, saddled, ready to go.
Perfect.
And I'm debating if I should make you make a notice roll, but I'll just tell you there are you see on the tack, not only is there the saddle, is there the reins and whatever, you see also that there is each of the three horses have a water bag, and um, there is a bottle shape that's also wrapped on each horse.
Oh, that was nice of them.
So it's wrapped in a cloth, but it looks like the shape of a bottle on each horse. And the bottle is tied next to what looks like a water bag.
Okay.
I tell Orest and his wife. You just said beloved, but
It's his wife.
okay.
Yeah.
Orest and his wife,
Oh, yeah.
and I thank them for their hospitality and sharing their household and these gifts that they've given us.
You are welcome. I think the blessing was for us. Please be safe.
And you.
And
Good
you.
luck. Good luck.
I hope too. And when you do that, he pulls you close. You don't really move, but he kind of pulls you just a little bit. And you can see it. It's almost like he's pulling you just a little bit, so you're blocking. And he reaches up and grabs his shirt, and you can see it's unbuttoned. And he pulls the shirt open just a little bit, and because you're close and blocking, you're the only one that sees it, and you can see just a little bit of a black and red flag on the inside of his shirt.
Like as a tattoo or as a patch on the inside of his
A
shirt?
patch on the inside of his shirt. Thank you. Be safe. I don't remember, Sveta. Do you have riding skill?
I do.
Okay, yeah. Sveta gets on the horse. Everything's hunky dory.
And I ask. Yeah, I'll save that for the road. I was gonna ask how much the horse costs, but we don't need to have that conversation while we're like leaving.
All right. So
I mean, it can't be that hard, right? And he immediately falls off the other side of the horse in his full suit of armor. Loud crunchy noises in the middle of the morning, and then dusts himself off. You're sure he's red underneath his helmet, but you can't really see. But he coughs slightly and then climbs back up on the horse. I thought you said these were well-trained horses. As you're bringing it back.
yeah,
I imagine that it's similar to like a drive skill where under normal circumstances you can drive, but if you're asked to do anything like difficult or tricky or stunts, it's not going to happen. Probably a good idea.
yeah, that's a good idea. That way, you don't have to worry about trying to tell him how to, pull the reins or, how to use the stirrups. The horse knows to. Oh, we're going this way. Okay, and it'll follow the other horse. That's a natural instinct. This way. Okay.
Well, my home's not west.
Well, it's
No.
southwest. Really
Yeah.
south and really west.
I just kind of. It's kind of southwest.
Oh.
It's not really southwest.
Uh-huh.
I will benefit nothing from going home.
It's
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. It's just there is literally no benefit to me going home. To me going to where you would think my home would be.
right.
So either way,
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to go to your camp. It's kind of on the way.
well, where are we going? Like, what's the purpose of
I
what
don't
we're
know.
doing?
That is the question. Once we leave here, where are we going anyways?
Do you think so? What do your soothsayers say? The Cossack soothsayers. The spellcasters? I don't think it's a thing here.
Oh,
But
that's a thing on your world?
Z-Teach obviously thinks it's a thing. The spellcasters that ride with your people. They tell you if it's going to rain or where to go next.
Maybe.
I don't.
You don't have to look in the book. It's not. I'm literally making it up right now.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there might be I mean magic's a thing. So it wouldn't be unheard of for the Cossack tribes to have like a shaman or something.
The way
I hadn't thought of it. I don't know if they do.
The way Z-Teach is talking about it, it makes it sound like it's something like everybody would know. There's so many of them, and it's such a common thing that we could.
Well, I think the difference, the subtlety he's getting at is going to be your tribe might have one guy, and he's
Yeah.
talking about like half the tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one shaman versus like a squad of mages.
Versus like a coven of soothsayers that tell the tribes where to go, like the mothers at the big mountain.
Yeah.
Really just 3 that we interact with, but they control a fairly large sections of land. But that's all thanks to them knowing the future. Wait, you don't have that power? I was under the understanding we came this direction because you saw something. You are the strangest Cossack I've seen. I will grant you that, and he'll indicate to the power armor. Most Cossacks that I've met in person had some kind of divination or foretelling capability. It's how they've survived with all of the other society's changes. When you can see your enemy coming, it makes it hard for nomadic peoples to be squashed. By the lakes down south, by the seas, a small castle. I would say that's a fairly easy guess. Like,
Yeah, in to detect that, or a Geiger counter or something. No.
And
it's just a difficult conversation. That's
Is-
why he doesn't say it. Because the last
Okay.
couple of people he's mentioned it to didn't believe him or tried to get rid of him like he was an aberrant.
Okay. But
Or
Z2, he is aware that he's not in his
Oh yeah,
world. Okay.
yeah. He knows he's not in his home dimension. Well, people have tried to get rid of him because he's if he is from a different dimension or if he's from a rift, then he must be one of the aliens or monsters or yeah, of course. He seems to find that very funny. Very, very funny. Well, I mean, I look human. I am human. You're human. Sveta is mostly human, I think.
And as far as you guys can tell, I am.
Are you guys just hanging out at the south part of the town, or
No,
are
I
you
think
having this fight?
this is a
Okay.
conversation on horseback as we're traveling.
And
Okay.
also, side note, because I never covered it, I did put on my armor before I got back on
Yeah,
my horse.
I did too. Yeah. So there is also this thing that I have the book up right now. There are
Mhm.
3 variations of railguns. I'm not sure which one I have. And as a note, I can only lift them when I'm wearing the suit.
Yeah.
There's a D10 requirement, possibly a
For
D12
strength.
requirement for strength, which I don't have. but the suit compensates for.
Right. Mark has it on his sheet. We will get that for you.
The railgun?
Yeah. Didn't he hand that to you?
Well, no. So he originally handed me his rifle, and he was using it, and then we found a railgun in the locker
Oh,
room,
Yeah.
That's
and we said,
right.
"Oh, well, look at the stats for it later." And if you don't,
You're right. Okay, I'll look it up now.
yeah, I have it. I have it page 102 in the Legion book. I just wasn't sure which one. Not that it may whether or not it comes into the picture. So you're saying your story. In where? Or we've just not encountered it since the rift started opening. So you traveled through time? Oh. Well, I'm glad to hear that we're on the same mission at least. That's a interesting story. He Z-Teach nods knowingly. I am not from here, as I'm sure by now you've probably noticed. Where I'm from, magic, when the rifts and the ley lines came back, the peoples of the Ukraine and Western Russia benefited greatly. We have a larger number of nexus where the ley lines cross than any other portion of the known world. And it's been that way for generations. I'm from a society, a school, an academy that teaches us how to use the ley lines, teaches us how to think through problems and come up with solutions, and then they send us throughout the world to bring the good word and to help with diplomacy outside of the Ukraine. My arrival here was strange. It was before I was able to complete all of my training, and I fell through a rift and arrived here in the middle of a battle. I was just as shocked as the summoner who summoned me. But that's a story for another day. I've been trying to survive and trying to make this Ukraine a stronger Ukraine. I've tried to share my story with others, but it has only gotten me strife. I tried to return home quite a bit when I first got here. This place is strange and dangerous. Much more dangerous than home. But it appears that something ties me here. Something holds me here. And I must complete my task here before I can go home. I must set right what once went wrong. Thank you. And then like as you guys are writing, Ztich becomes statue still in his seat, as if he's been here for weeks, months, and has thought through plans and schemes and played games with himself to keep the time. Has not once ever considered that. Like he's just sitting dumbfounded in the saddle for like a solid 30 seconds and says, "That is an interesting thought." Yeah, I was gonna say, and then both of us slowly turn towards Sveta.
Sveta is fine for me. No. Kuznaya is a life that I don't like to be known for. My story is a very long one, and looking at the out of world clock, I don't know if I have time to tell it. But
Reader's Digest.
so in my bio, I have a excerpt from Elizaveta's journal as a kid, which I think kind of sums up Kuznaya as a whole. My origin stories are kind of a lot longer than that. But do you guys want to listen to this?
Sure.
All right. So it's the legends of the mystic Kuznaya. And I say, as a child, I loved my father's bedtime stories. My favorites were the legends of the mystic Kuznaya, mythical hero smiths who could wield the celestial miracles of the smith god Svarog and transform his will into living weapons and armors of untold power. My father being a town smith himself, I'd ask for such stories every night and sleep soundly dreaming of my father performing in the heroic acts of old. Even today, I'm infatuated with the books about their history. Kuznaya were capable of righting great injustices with the blow of their mighty hammers. Strangely, though, their numbers have always been few. They arrive as precursors to times of great change, and as such, Kuznaya are regarded as beacons of hope, by the oppressed, and omens of doom for their enemies. The Kuznaya are not as perfect as the bedtime stories told, however, and I've come to learn this world is far more ruthless. Countless innocents have died, slaughtered by their misplaced or stolen blessings. Some Kuznaya are said to have fallen victim to their fame, enthralled by their own self-image. Their publicity guiding them into a warlord's jail, imprisoned for life, out of fear for what their talents could do if used elsewhere. My father's stories would often share one moral, that the Kuznaya who survive to become legend only do so with careful planning and by staying loyal in their oath, that they must share their blessings in only the most worthy of circumstances, abstain from any role in corrupt ambitions of mankind, and whenever possible, keep out of the public eye. He'd never say it, but I could tell he felt sorry for them, having to live their lives with such burdens and constrained by Svarog's code, their crafts and magic limited, and their transformations into Kuznaya leaving them unable to bear children. His crafts as a smith, being a freedom fighter, and his love for me were his everything. He was a secretive but wise man, and I miss him. That's Elizaveta's journal when she was 17 years old.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And totally throws my idea in the garbage. So more power to you.
Sorry. It is possible.
I don't know. I don't know how many of them knew her name. Many of them were calling her by that title.
That is a good point. I'm sure he is back home and happy to be there.
The only time that spell has ever failed me was returning me to my home. Of course. Now you understand why it was important to me. It also took me a second.
It is getting late.
It is. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. here. That's that is a good time to call it. So, hey, I will just say quickly, um, it one of the fun aspects of being a game master is having plans, setting things in motion, and then seeing the players go a completely different direction. And so I actually had tokens for the Olaf's men, so we could fight that out. I had a token for the beetle. I had, all kinds of combat ready and waiting and prepared. And you know what? In a way, I loved the way this went. this was so, and see, that's the thing. You make plans and the players go another way, and then you go, wow, that was a better idea. That's a better story, because to me the important thing is what's the story you're telling, and I like this story better. I think the combat, all of that would have been cliche. And anyway, so from me, thank you. And for your smart playing. And I really enjoyed that. I really
It's
enjoyed that.
Thanks for running.
It was fun.